Think about this. Your silence shakes the ground beneath them. Every second you don't react, every moment you refuse to meet their noise, you're winning a battle they don't even realize they're losing. Look at them scrambling, trying to make you flinch, trying to bait you into their chaos. But you're calm, unbothered, unshaken. That's what they can't handle. You're not playing their game, and they can't figure out how to beat someone who doesn't need their validation. While they shout louder, hoping it will cover their cracks, you see them for what they are. All bark, no bite. You've already exposed their weaknesses without saying a single word. Every flinch, every overreaction, every stumble, it's theirs, not yours, and you're standing tall, untouched, watching them collapse under the weight of their own insecurities. Here's the truth. Silence isn't surrender, it's strategy. You don't need to prove yourself to them because they've already shown you who they are. Their arrogance is their undoing, and your quiet strength. It's a force they can't withstand. You don't need noise to be powerful. You are power. So, let them flail. Let them underestimate you. Every second you hold your ground, you're solidifying your position as the one they can't break, the one they can't figure out. Stay calm, stay steady, and watch as their chaos consumes them while you rise above, stronger than ever. Their facades crumble quietly under the weight of your indifference. You don't need to confront them. The truth of your unshakable confidence makes their efforts irrelevant. Their maneuvers are fragile, their posturing hollow, and deep down, they know it. The strength they project is borrowed, dependent on an audience that validates them. Yet here you stand, unattached to their approval, unshaken by their noise, a quiet storm that outlasts the echoes of false thunder. Your quiet presence is the axis around which their confusion revolves. They can't resist the pull, though it leaves them unsettled. Torn between imitation and avoidance, they falter, unsure of how to neutralize someone they can neither outshine nor undermine. Without a word, you redefine the space, commanding without demanding. Their foundations, built on shallow pretense, dissolve against the permanence of your authenticity. You remain unyielding, effortlessly radiating power that needs no proclamation. Chaos feeds on distraction, flourishing where uncertainty reigns. Yet your calm disarms it, unraveling its power without confrontation. You refuse to play by their rules, and this defiance renders their tactics useless. Their instability thrives on disruption, but your grounded presence becomes an impenetrable shield. Where deception seeks shadows, your clarity becomes a mirror, exposing the flaws they work so hard to hide. In their attempts to mislead, they weave traps they cannot escape, tangled by their own design. The weight of their plans eventually consumes them. Their whispers and schemes falter, crumbling under the steady pressure of their own contradictions. As they scramble to regain control, they inadvertently fracture the fragile alliances they rely upon. Their desperation becomes their undoing, forcing them to confront the emptiness at the heart of their strategies. The harmony they once pretended to wield fractures into splinters, each shard a reminder of the inevitability of collapse when deceit stands unsupported. Feel the call? Step into your potential. Subscribe now and let's rise together. When manipulation ceases to hold sway, alliances unravel in a storm of self-preservation. Their unity was never solid, built on shaky foundations of vanity and shared insecurities. Without a unifying target, they turn inward, devouring their own. In the dynamics of control, their power thrives only in the absence of clarity. The instant they meet resistance from someone unmoved by their tactics, the illusion begins to fracture. It starts as hesitant glances, a whisper of doubt, before spiraling into full-blown accusations. They've worn their disguises so long that even among themselves, the masks feel more real than their faces. What they didn't foresee was an element beyond their calculation, an unyielding force immune to their posturing. This is where their plans falter, because they've never had to confront authenticity. Their schemes weren't built for someone who doesn't play their games, someone whose worth isn't defined by others. And when betrayal strikes, it's not a wound, but a crucible, tempering resolve instead of breaking it. As the facade falls, it doesn't shatter by accident. It disintegrates under the weight of its own falsehood. You emerge not as a victim, but as someone gifted with clarity, seeing through the artifice to the truth beneath. Betrayal has a way of severing ties that were never meant to hold, a merciless yet necessary act that clears the path to clarity. When they turned against you, they unknowingly set you free, a paradox they'll never grasp. What they intended as harm became the force that unshackled you, and in doing so, they lost what they thought they controlled. The pain of betrayal isn't a gentle reminder. It's an eruption, tearing apart the comforting illusions you once clung to. It strips away the facade of trust and leaves you exposed to a reality you couldn't see before. The hurt is undeniable, but it's in that rawness that transformation begins. Their actions weren't an end. They were a beginning, dismantling the fragile beliefs you outgrew and uncovering the resilience that was always within you. They didn't break you. They stripped away what no longer served you, revealing a stronger core than even you realized was there. Betrayal forces reflection, not just on others, but on yourself. It sharpens your awareness, uncovering the vulnerabilities that allowed deceit to linger. It's a trial by fire that burns away naivety, leaving behind the tempered steel of wisdom. Those who betray you see it as a victory, unaware they've accelerated your evolution. They reveal not only their true nature, but yours as well, a version of yourself unburdened by their presence. What they took wasn't a loss, but a release. Their treachery, a catalyst for growth. Their betrayal says nothing of your value and everything about their own limitations. They faltered because they couldn't meet your strength or endure your authenticity. Their failure isn't a reflection of your worth, but a testament to their insecurity. As the dust settles, it's you who emerges intact, while they remain ensnared by the traps they set. Betrayal doesn't diminish the strong. It fortifies them, turning pain into power and lessons into unshakable truths. You didn't just endure it, you transcended it, proving that resilience isn't built by avoiding challenges, but by rising through them. Your very existence challenges the structures they've carefully crafted. There's a depth in you they can't mimic, a resonance they can't match. The essence you carry shines through, uncovering the flaws they've worked tirelessly to conceal. It's not just discomfort. They're shaken by a truth they can't obscure with pretense. Authenticity is a power they can't wield, and your unvarnished reality outshines their most polished illusions. You embody what they fear, a strength unchained by the need for approval, a light that exposes all that is hollow. Their weapons, forged in falsehood, crumble before they even reach you. Their strategies lack the foundation to hold against someone anchored in self-assurance. Their attempts to distort your image only backfire, unraveling their web of deceit while your integrity remains intact. They believed their words could eclipse your presence, but every whisper only amplified the brilliance they sought to diminish. What they don't understand is that your resilience is drawn from a source beyond their reach. Their schemes are finite. Your essence is boundless. I've walked this path of resistance and revelation, standing firm where others faltered. Their discomfort is a testament to the strength they couldn't erode. Their plans, however calculated, dissolved against the immovable truth of self-awareness. The battles they waged were futile, not because I fought harder, but because I didn't need to fight at all. The forces of the universe aligned not in retaliation, but in affirmation. I didn't rise through conflict. I rose through certainty, a power far beyond their comprehension. Their unease isn't about your actions, it's about your essence. They see in you the strength they lack, the courage to stand unshaken, the authenticity they can't mimic, and the quiet assurance of being tethered to something larger than themselves. Their insecurity fuels their attempts to tear you down, but all it does is highlight their own fragility. You don't need to react. Your presence alone is enough. Without lifting a finger, you unravel their efforts. They flounder because they don't know how to combat someone they can't predict or control. Let them exhaust themselves. Their struggle is not yours. You were meant to be a disruptor, a beacon in spaces that have long been veiled in falsehoods. Their discomfort is proof of your purpose, not a burden to bear. Celebrate those who quietly challenge the status quo, the unseen warriors who refuse to conform, who choose truth over comfort. These are the ones who blaze their own trails, casting light into the corners where deception once thrived. They fight battles not everyone can see and transform paths others fear to tread. If you feel this calling in your soul, know it's for you. No disguises, no illusions, just unwavering truth. Silence isn't submission, it's a calculated choice. By holding your peace, you assert control over the narrative. It's not about avoiding the battle, it's about choosing when and how to engage. Every impulsive word they throw, every rash action they take, becomes fuel for your quiet resolve. Your restraint disarms them, rendering their efforts futile. Silence is not retreat, it's strategy. It turns their energy into wasted motion, leaving them to wrestle with their own missteps while you stand composed, saving your strength for the moments that truly matter. If you feel the abundance of divine love in your heart, now is the time to share it. You can help spread God's blessings by clicking the Super Thank You button on YouTube and contributing $20 or more. This divine gift will touch not only your life, but the souls of many through this platform. Each of you has a sacred place in God's grand design, and your generosity will be the fruit of our prayers. Act now. Share your abundance to glorify His kingdom. For you were created to do even greater things in God's loving hands. May God bless you. Don't just watch, be part of the change. Subscribe now, and let's make it happen. Зрение их ослабляется в тот момент, когда вы отказываетесь вступить в их бурю. Their power lies in disruption, in pulling you into a fray that feeds their need for validation. But your stillness disarms them. They anticipate resistance, expect you to meet their chaos with equal force. Instead, your calm becomes an unyielding mirror, reflecting their instability. They crumble not from confrontation, but from the silence that forces them to confront themselves. I've stood firm in moments designed to provoke, holding my ground while they hurled every accusation, hoping for a reaction. I let their words flow unchecked, revealing their desperation with every outburst. I didn't respond, not out of fear, but because I understood the strength in stillness. When their fury burned out, leaving them exposed, I was still standing. It wasn't my silence that defeated them, but their inability to break through my resolve. My voice wasn't needed. My presence was enough. Silence isn't inaction. It's a deliberate move in a game you've already won. It's the wisdom to know that battles fought on their terms are battles already lost. While they lash out, exposing their weaknesses, you gain clarity and conserve your strength. Their desperation becomes your advantage, their chaos a canvas for your poise. You don't engage because not every skirmish deserves your energy. By refusing their terms, you force them to confront the emptiness of their tactics. You hold your power with intention, unshaken and unyielding. Their weapons falter because they are forged in the wrong fire. When the moment calls, you act with precision. But until then, you let them unravel, wasting energy while you remain composed. Your silence becomes the ultimate strategy, not a retreat, but a stance of dominance, a reminder that control lies with the one who doesn't flinch. What they see as betrayal becomes your clarity. Not every hand extended in friendship is meant to last the journey. Some are lessons meant to illuminate truths you wouldn't otherwise see. Their betrayal strips away the unnecessary burning falsehoods and leaving behind an unshakable understanding. It's not your loss, it's theirs, as they show their inability to meet the demands of the path you walk. Betrayal isn't an ending, it's a refining force, shaping you for heights they could never reach. When trust is broken, it doesn't signify your downfall, it marks your liberation. History is rich with moments when betrayal was not an ending, but a repositioning. It is the rupture that forces alignment, just as a seed must break its shell to grow. The harm they intended is the very catalyst that propels you towards something far greater than they could comprehend. Their actions, meant to hinder, merely shift you onto a path you were always meant to walk. Deception reveals lessons loyalty could never teach. It strips away illusions, forcing you to confront truths you once ignored. It's a refining fire, burning away what is weak or unnecessary and leaving behind only what is resilient. Those who deceive you act as unexpected guides, exposing what you couldn't see on your own. Their betrayal isn't a curse, but a tool, harsh and cutting, but ultimately constructive. Their actions aren't punishment, they're redirection. They clear the debris from your path, often in ways that feel sudden or unjust. But their choices, however destructive they seem, are the hands that move pieces into place. What feels like a loss is actually an unveiling. They haven't halted your momentum, they've amplified it. What you thought was an ending becomes the doorway to something far greater, something unencumbered by the limitations they represented. The harm they inflicted is not a blockade, it's a springboard. It chisels away the unnecessary, leaving you with a sharper vision and renewed strength. Betrayal doesn't define you, it fortifies you, proving what was meant to stand by you and what was never meant to endure. Their exit isn't a loss, it's an affirmation that their role in your story has concluded. Their treachery doesn't extinguish your light, it ignites your evolution. Pain is not the conclusion, it's the fire that fuels transformation. Every strike they aim at you is an opportunity for growth, a challenge to rise beyond the limitations they impose. The negativity they throw your way becomes the very energy you convert into resilience. You don't fall under the weight of their malice, you rise above it. Pain, once transformed, becomes power. Their chaos isn't your end, it's your ignition, forging you into something they could never diminish. When they sought to pull me into their chaos, I chose elevation over retaliation. I didn't lower myself to meet them where they thrived. I focused on building something beyond their reach. Their noise was nothing more than static, and I tuned it out, pouring my energy into creation and growth. My silence wasn't surrender, it was strategy. Every moment I withheld my response, I was constructing a foundation so unshakable that their attempts to disrupt it became irrelevant. And when I finally acted, it wasn't out of anger, but out of unstoppable purpose. Every obstacle, every insult, every betrayal, they're all raw materials for transformation. These challenges are tools, not burdens, and you hold the power to shape them into something extraordinary. They hope to see you stumble, to drag you into their chaos, but your strength lies in your refusal to engage. Instead of reacting, channel their negativity into the fuel that drives your progress. What they meant as harm becomes the cornerstone of something lasting and unassailable. Their attempts are fleeting, but what you create from it endures. While they exhaust themselves trying to provoke you, you stand firm, conserving your energy for what truly matters. Let their efforts dissipate like wind against stone, while you remain steady and unshaken. Every strike they aim at you only exposes their fear of what you're capable of achieving. As they falter, you rise, transforming every ounce of their doubt into motivation. Your ascent isn't fueled by their approval or their acceptance. It's fueled by your vision, your strength, and your ability to turn adversity into power. You are never alone in this journey. Forces unseen are working tirelessly in your favor, clearing paths and shielding you from harm. You are guided by a lineage of resilience and wisdom, fortified by a connection to something greater. These unseen allies dismantle the obstacles placed in your way, ensuring that even betrayal and malice become tools for your growth. They've walked this path before you, fighting unseen battles so that you can move forward unburdened. Pay attention to the signs of alignment, those moments of clarity that seem to defy explanation. They're reminders that you're exactly where you need to be, guided by something far larger than yourself. These signs, subtle yet profound, mark your steps, affirming that even in the face of chaos, you are protected and aligned with a purpose greater than any obstacle. While others conspire against you, those unseen forces are weaving victories out of what seemed like defeat, ensuring that no harm can derail your journey. Even when the road feels uncertain and the challenges seem unending, there is an unseen force guiding you forward. It's the voice in your intuition, the quiet nudge steering you away from harm, the synchronicities that align at the exact moment you need them. These aren't coincidences. They're the relentless efforts of those who came before you, ensuring your light can't be overshadowed. The struggles you face are part of a much larger story, one rooted in resilience and strength. You are their legacy, their victory, their proof that the battles they fought were not in vain. Their presence fortifies you, moving through you as an unbreakable force. Trust the guidance that isn't always visible. Release the weight of what no longer belongs to you. The betrayals, the pain, the grudges that tether you to what's already past. Their actions don't define your worth. They reveal their own limitations. You were never meant to carry the burdens they tried to place on you. Letting go isn't weakness, it's power. Each step you take away from the hurt is a step toward freedom. Their attempts to diminish you hold no influence unless you allow it. Rise above, knowing their noise was never about you, but about what they could never match within themselves. Your rise isn't in looking back, it's in moving forward. The energy they hoped would break you can be redirected into building something they can't fathom. the greatest response isn't retaliation, it's transformation. While they cling to old patterns, you create new paths. Focus on what drives you higher: your goals, your purpose, your future. Abundance isn't something you chase, it's something you align with. Every door they closed becomes irrelevant as new opportunities open without hesitation. Your momentum is unstoppable because it's fueled by intention, not by approval. You don't rise to prove them wrong. You rise because it's your destiny. Shift your energy toward manifesting what lies ahead. Pour yourself into what brings you closer to your purpose: the people, the projects, the visions that elevate you beyond the distractions of the past. Don't waste your brilliance on the shadows they tried to cast. You weren't made to linger in their chaos. You were made to soar beyond it. The life you envision is yours the moment you decide it is. Their opinions are irrelevant, their attempts futile. You're here to fulfill your potential, not to validate their doubts. Keep your focus, claim your power, and let your ascent speak louder than any word they could utter. Now is the time to share God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube. You can contribute to His plan and be part of this divine mission with a donation of $100 or more. Every gift reflects God's generosity, and I believe it will come back to you exponentially, far beyond your expectations. Remember, His protection and blessings are on your every step and every donation. You become part of His divine plan. You are a strong, radiant being, unshakable as His mighty rock. Witness God's miracles. Feel the fruits of your generosity in your soul and illuminate the world with confidence and courage. Be blessed and let the light of the Lord guide your path. Thriving is the ultimate response, not just to overcome, but to reset the narrative entirely. Pour your focus into progress, and the doors that seemed firmly shut will reveal new pathways. Growth doesn't answer bitterness, it responds to purpose. Let your vision be sharp, your actions intentional, and your drive unstoppable. Their attempts to hinder you are irrelevant in the face of what you create. Their betrayal becomes the cornerstone of your triumph. Their doubt, the distant echo that fuels your ascent. Release their chaos and embrace the abundance already within your grasp. Your journey starts here. Subscribe now, and let's create something extraordinary together. You were never meant to remain confined by their limitations. Your path is to rise above them. Move boldly with purpose, letting your achievements speak in ways words never could. You are the force they never anticipated, the quiet strength that dismantles their illusions. Your power isn't loud because it doesn't need to be. It is found in the way you remain composed, focused, and unwavering while their schemes unravel. They misunderstand your silence as surrender, failing to see it as strategy. They mistake your calm for weakness, unaware that it is the foundation of a transformation they can't withstand. Every attack, every whispered scheme, only hastens the collapse of their own fragile plans. Their energy is wasted while you remain steady, dismantling their games by refusing to play. Their shadows cannot withstand the brightness of your truth. You aren't here to mirror their chaos, you're here to transcend it. What they perceive as strength falters under the clarity you bring, exposing their tactics for what they are: insignificant attempts to disrupt a journey they can't comprehend. Your focus isn't on proving them wrong, but on affirming your own purpose. They cannot diminish what you refuse to give them. Their negativity and betrayal are powerless in the face of your determination. Every effort they make to hold you back only strengthens your momentum. They collapse under the weight of their own insecurity while you move forward, untouched and unstoppable. Let go of the past and those who have fulfilled their role in your journey. Their chapter is over, and yours is just beginning. Stand unapologetically in your truth, letting your actions speak louder than their schemes ever could. Your silence was never retreat, it was preparation. Now, your growth will overshadow their attempts to hold you back, leaving them behind as you step fully into your purpose. When you rise, share your journey. Let others see the power of resilience and the beauty of transformation. Show what it means to thrive beyond the noise, to embrace strength in clarity, and to become unstoppable in the face of opposition. Speak your truth, not as an explanation, but as a declaration. Inspire those who follow, showing them what is possible when focus and purpose align. This is your time. Claim it without hesitation.